Greetings everyone and welcome. My name is Alfred and in this video I'll be guiding you on how to create a dark mode theme for your web application. We'll create our dark mode theme so that when we click on the dark mode button here on our navigation menu, it's going to change our application's theme to the dark theme. And if we toggle it again, it comes back to the light theme. So we'll be having two themes, the light theme, which is currently this one, and another one, the dark mode theme that we're going to create in this video. This is an application that we've been creating called how to create the best data tables using Laravel and jQuery. If you don't have it, or if you've not checked on it, I'll leave a link on the description of this video. So let's get started. I'm going to bring on my Visual Studio Code. I've already opened the project in VS Code. You could use the editor of your choice. For me, I'll be using the Visual Studio Code from Microsoft. And here I have my project. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to start by adding a class to my body, to the whole application body, which is this one inside my master page. And here I'm just going to create a class and I'll call it dark mode, just like that. After creating my class like that on my body tag inside my master page, I'm going to open my CSS file, which is this one, and here I'm going to create some 3 extra colors. Remember, here we defined our colors that we're going to use in our application, and just after this one I'm going to create another color. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to duplicate this, but I'm going to change the name and the value of the color that I'm going to provide here. So the first color will be, I'll call it dark mode primary BG, and I'm going to change the value here of my color, and it will be 16, then 1, then capital D, or you could use D and then 3-1, and that is, it's the color that I will be using for my dark mode primary background. Another color that I'm going to add, I'm going to copy this. Now I'm going to change from primary and I'll say secondary, and that will be my secondary color for my dark mode, and I'll change the value to be 283046, and then it's going to be my secondary background color for the dark mode theme. After that, I may need to create third color, so I'll use it later. So it will be it will not be now dark, I'll just say light mode, and I will say primary background. Of course, I'm going to change the value of the color, and it will be F8, F8, F8. That is the color that I will be using for my light mode primary background. So we've added the colors that we're going to use. We'll be using these 3 colors, most probably these 2 colors for now, to change, to create our dark mode theme. After that, I will scroll down till the end of this file, and here I'm just going to put some comments, and I'll say dark mode theme CSS, like that. And what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to start by the dark mode theme itself. So dark mode, and I'm going to say background color, and I'll say this one should be the dark mode primary color, like that one we selected. And after setting the color like that, I could say here I want to be emphasized, and so I'm just going to say important, like that. I'm going to save that, so that and I'll go back to my application here. I'll try to reload the application, and as you can see now, we have applied dark color, which looks more of black on our background. So we already have a dark color on our background. Or what I'm going to do, I'll change also the color of our navigation bar and the sidebar as well, so that we can match the color that we've changed. So I'll go back here to my code editor, and this time around I want to change the nav bar. So I'm just going to copy this class, and inside this class we're going to get another class called navbar section. And in navbar section, I'm also going to change this, and it will have the same color as this. So just going to have it here like that. Another thing I'm going to do when I'm inside the navbar section, I'm going to change the color. So for every element that it's inside the navbar section, it's going to have a background light color, this one, like that. So if I have to go to my application and try to reload now. Oh, it's not showing. Let me see. I'm going to say background color, and this, oh yeah, this dark mode. I'll save that. I'll go to the application again, and now it changes, but it changes to the background color, and we don't want that. What we want is the secondary color here. So instead of changing to primary color, I'm going to change to this color that we defined for dark mode. So if I am to go again to the application here and try to reload, it should now give us the secondary color for our nav bar. And now, as you can see, we have the nav bar color changed. So I'm going to my code editor here again, and now I'm going to change my sidebar. So again, I'm going to copy this. I will have it here, and then inside here I'm going to find a class called sidebar section, sidebar section, this one, and I'm going to have the same background color. And so I'm just going to copy this, and I'm going to have it there. Another way you could do this is copy this, come here, put a comma, have it like that. But the reason I don't want to do that, I don't want to change the color of our sidebar. So I'm going just to repeat it down here. It's not big deal. So I'm going to save that. And when I go to my application here and reload, now you see our sidebar has already changed to match our navbar. Okay, let's continue. Next, what I'm going to change, I'll change the navigation bar here. So I'll still come back here and I'll copy my dark mode class. I'll bring it down here, and this time around I'm going to target the pagination. So I will look for pagination, and inside the pagination I have page link, and this is the class that I'm going to target, and I'm going to have the same background color is this one. Going to have it having background color of dark mode secondary background. Going to save that. If I go back to my application here and reload, and now you can see we have dark mode on our navigation bar. Something else I'm going to target is the form controls. So I'll target these form controls, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to copy I think I can use this one here. So say dot form control, and after that I'm going to my application here and I will reload, and now you can see we have the dark mode applied to our form controls. Okay, let's continue, and now let's target our I'll target the labels for now. So I'll just copy one of these, and okay, I'll copy which one is best to copy. I just want one with color only. Okay, no worries. I'll copy this. I'll put it down here, and then I'll say labels, and I'll only have the color this time around. I'm gonna save that. And another thing I'm going to target is the card. So I'm gonna copy which one can I copy? I just want the one with background. Okay, so I can put it here. So I'm going to have card like that, and that will take care of our card. And I'm also going to have submenu. Remember, we have a submenu which pops up when we hover on our navbar. This one we also want to change when we hover here. This one changes to dark mode. So I'm just going to change it here. And I'll say it's dot navbar submenu should be dot navbar submenu. I'm going to remove the extra comma there. Then I'll save. I'll go to my application, try to reload once more and see what we have. And so you can see our card changed, our inputs here changed, and our submenu changed also. But what I want to do, I want to change this one to the primary color. I want to change the input color to be same as the primary color, as well as our navigation bar here. So let's do that. Go and check where we have form control here. I'm going to copy the form control. Actually, I'm going to cut it, and I'll come here. I'll say dark mode, then form control, and instead of having the secondary color, I'm going to have the primary dark color here, and that will be same for the navigation links, like that. Then when I go to the application again here, you can see now it changed to the primary, and as well as this one also changed to the primary dark color that we selected. All right, so let's continue. What I want to do now is to have white color inside our form controls. And the way to do that, I'm just going to copy this and go inside our form control class here. I'm going to paste it in. And if we go to our application and reload, now we have white color inside our form controls, like that. So another thing that I'm going to target now is our table rows. As you can see, the table rows are still in the light mode theme. And this is what we're going to target next and change it to the dark theme. So let's go back into our editor. And here I'm going to target the table rows. So again, I'll say our dark mode, and inside dark mode, we're going to have table responsive. Then we have T body. And then after that, we have TR, and we take the nth child with 2. And remember, we defined this one last time, so I'm not just going to talk about it again. And then we'll get the TD inside this row. And then after that, I'm just going to have the background color to be the primary dark mode color, which is this one. I'll go ahead and paste it in, and also I need to have the light color for text. So again, I'm going to have it like that. And also what I'm going to do, I'm going to copy this. I'm going to have it like that. And then here I will have +1, so that it gives us the next row. You can define this one, it's old row, and this one it's even. You can just say even old will serve the same purpose. So we're going to have it like that. And now I'm going to save this, and I'm going back to my application, and I'll try to reload. And as you can see, now we have our rows having the dark mode theme, but our color is still having some issues. So let's go ahead and see how we can fix that. So what I'm gonna do here, I'll go to my text editor here, and I'll change one thing here. I'll say, I'll try to copy this, and inside here I'm going to have all the paragraphs, then H1 through H6, so H1, H2, H3, H4, H5, and H6. I'm going to have all this with color background light, like that. So all these mods all these elements. If we get one of these, we're going to change the text color inside them to be background white, which is white color. So I will save that and I'll scroll down. We have that. So I'll save that. I'll go back to my application. I'll reload. Still not changed. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to target the whole row. So what I'll do, I'll copy this. I'll bring it down here. And then I'll say tr. And I'll copy this. And I will have that. So I'll say if we get an table row inside the dark mode, we're going to have these configurations. We're going to have the background color matching the primary background color for our dark mode theme, and the color inside those will be the light color that we defined before. So I'm going back to the application and try to reload, and this time around should give us something positive. And it only worked for the header of the table. So again, let's go and check it out. So what I'm going to do, I'll put emphasis on these colors. So I'll mark them with important. Sorry, I'll put some emphasis on the text color on these text. So I'll say should be important. I'm going to save that. I'll go back to my application and try to reload the page. And now it changed. Now it changed to white text inside the table rows. So we have that one already. So what I'm going to do next, I'm going to work on this. If you see it, our model still not changed to dark theme. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to target the model. So I'm going to my application again here, and I'm going to say still my dark mode, and I'm going to say if you get any model content inside the dark mode or inside the dark mode class, and we get the model content, we're going to change that to dark theme. And we're going to do that, and this time around not going to use the primary. I want it to be the secondary color of our dark mode. So let's see if that one changes. I'm going to reload the application again and bring up the model, and now it changes. Now you can see that it changes from the white or from the light mode to the dark mode theme. All right, so we have managed to change our theme from light mode to dark mode. So let's see if what will happen if we remove the dark mode class here like that and go back to our application and try to reload to give us the light mode. And since the card, we did not have the dark mode class on our card. And what are we going to do? Going back to master to my CSS and check where the card is. The card is here, what I'm going to do, and let me check also the nav. Yeah. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to separate them. So I'm going to just get rid of this one from here, have it there. And I'm going to have the submenu also on a different line. I'm going also to have this one here. And then I'm going to copy the dark mode. I'll have it here and here as well. Going to paste in there. Okay, I'm just going to put some space here, and I'm going to have going to bring in the colors, and here I'll have this one here, and I'll paste in both of them. Gonna save that, and when I go back to the application, should now be quite all of it. Yeah, it's now back to the light mode theme, and that is it. So what's remaining is, how do you toggle the from one theme or from one mode to another? So if I say dark mode, it should go back to the dark mode theme. So how do we toggle that? So I'll go back to the application here. It's gone back to the theme. Very nice. Now, what we're going to do, we're going to create a mechanism to be able to toggle between dark mode theme and light theme. Where we're going to do that, like you guessed, we're going to use a jQuery. So let's go ahead and prepare the jQuery to be able to toggle between the light and the dark mode. So before we go and start calling our jQuery, we're going to the navbar so that we target that icon. And I'll just going to my navbar, so navbar blade, and we're going to check where we have the toggle button. So we have it here. We have the dark mode, so it seems like we have two of them. Just going to remove one for now. Actually, I'm going to have both of them. And I'm going to have extra classes. And here, I'm going to have some classes here. And I'm just going to say, I will have one class called change theme. And this one will be for the light mode. So we'll say light mode class. And this class called change theme will be common on both of them. And as you would have guessed, I'll have, instead of now the light mode class, I'll have the counterpart, which is now dark mode class. And instead of having moon here, I'll have a sun to signify the light theme, and I will have moon to signify the dark mode theme. So after that, this one will be, of course, light, the one with sun, and the other one with moon will be our dark mode theme. And what happens, we are always going to hide one and have another one showing. So what I'm going to do, because we are always inside, we start by having light mode, I'm going to hide the first one. I'm going to hide the light mode button. Then when we click on the other one, we're going to show the light mode button, and we're going to hide the dark mode button. All right, so for that, I'm going to create a class. I'll call this class display none. I'll copy this class. I'll go into my, for example, if we save that and I go to the application right now, I try to reload. You see, we're going to have both of them. We have the light mode and dark mode showing. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to copy this class. I'll go back to my CSS here, and just after the dark mode theme, I'm going to have my class here. I'll say this class, whenever an element has this class, should be hidden. So I'll give it a display property, and its value will be none. So the display will be none. That means if an element has that class, then it's going to be hidden from the user. And now, as you can see, that is hidden from the user, and we have this. But now when we are in the dark mode, we should see the other one. So we should see the sun, and when we are in the light mode, we should see the moon. So if we go to our navbar here, with one that we are hiding is light mode theme, which is correct because we by default will be in light mode theme. So I'm just going to remove this like that. I'll save, and by default I'll show you what we'll be having. By default, this is what we're going to have. If we click here, we should go to the dark mode. If we click again, we should come back here. All right, so that's done. It's time to go and do some code in our jQuery. Oh, all right. So I'm just going to open my jQuery file, which is like app jQuery. JS. And here it's where I'm going to create the mechanism or the implementation of the toggling of the dark to light mode and light to dark theme mode of our application. So what I'm going to do, just going to add some comment here, and I'll say toggle light dark theme or mode. You can choose either, or say theme for now. And one thing I'm going to do, I'll be storing this current selected theme in the local storage. So what I'm going to say, when the application loads, I want to know which theme is currently selected. So I'm going to say let theme mode be equals. I'm going to read from the local storage dot get item, and the item that I'm going to get has a key called theme mode. So theme mode is my key to store the current selected theme mode in the local storage. Local storage stores the data in the browser, so we can get easily what mode we stored on our browser. And next, what I'm going to do, I'm going to check if the theme mode that we get is either light or dark. So I'm going to say if the theme mode that we got it's the same as light, then we're going to do something, else we'll do something else. So if the theme mode that we got was light, it means that we're going to get our body. Remember, we are having the class here inside the body, which is dark theme. So we're going to get our body here, and we are going to remove that class, remove class, and the class that we're going to remove is the dark mode class. Remember, this is the class responsible for changing the colors from dark to light. And another thing we are going to do also, we are going to get another class. You remember this class that we did, so it's dark mode class. This class we created on our element inside the navbar. So we're going to get the dark mode class, and what we are going to do, we are going to remove class display none. You remember that class that we created, display none, that hides the element that we don't want to show to the user? This is the class that we're going to remove now, because we want to show the element which was hidden from the user. We want to show them that now we are in dark mode, and we should have the dark mode icon, the light icon being shown, so that we can click it and go back to the other mode. So the class was called display none, that what the class name was. If you could remember, if you cannot remember, then when you go to the CSS, you find this class here. It's called display none, and in the navbar is the display none class. So that's what we called our class. All right, so we go back to our jQuery or our JavaScript here, and after that we're going to have now to do the opposite of this. So to the other class, the counterpart of the dark mode class, we're going to have the light mode class, and instead of removing the class, now we're going to add class display none, because now we want to hide it. You get that? All right, now else what are we going to do if now we are not in the light mode but dark mode? So if we're not in light mode, definitely we will be in the dark mode. So if we are in the dark mode, we want to do the opposite of what we are doing now. So instead of removing the class, we're going to add the class. And instead of removing this, we're going to add the class. And instead of adding this class, we're going to remove it like that. So it's like we are doing a reciprocal of the other one. All right, so what we are going to do here after that, we are going now to listen to the clicks on our change theme icons. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to say, all right, if a user clicks on the change theme icon on our navbar, so I'll have an event here which is click. If the user clicks on the icons to change theme, so I'll have a closure here. Function. And no. Right, I'll remove this like that. So if the user clicks on the change theme icons, either theme or the one which is shown currently, what we are going to do, we are going to get this class. Actually, I'm just going to copy this class, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to toggle class. So toggle class, and as you have guessed, the class that we're going to toggle is this class, so that if this element has this class, it's going to be removed. If it doesn't have this class, then it's going to be added like that. All right, okay. After that, what I want to do again, I want to create a function that now actually toggles the theme. So going down here, and I'll create one function. So I'll say function. I'll call this function toggle light. Let me start with dark, dark, then light, then theme. It's not gonna accept any arguments, so I don't want to send any parameters inside this function. And what I can do, I'm going to check. So I'm going to say let check theme equal to, I'm going to have now pass my body element. So body tag inside there, and I'm going to check if this body tag or body element has a class of dark mode. So do you have class has a class? And class, remember we call it dark mode, like there. So we're going to check if it has dark mode. So if it has, then what we do? If it has, check theme. I misspelled this one, so it's check theme. If it has, what we are going to do, we are going to remove it. So, all right, if it has, we are going to remove it. You can just toggle the class, but sometimes I want to be very sure of what I'm doing. You could just toggle it so that if it was there, it will be removed. If it wasn't there, it will be added. But sometimes I want to be very sure, especially now I have to add something to the local storage. And so here I'm just going to remove it. Just going to remove that class. If it has it, I'll say, okay, remove that class because we don't want it. We are giving it the other mode of the theme, which is light, does not require this. And then after that, another thing I'm going to do now, I'm going to write to the local storage dot set item, and we are sure now the mode is light. We are sure the mode is light because we removed the dark mode from the body tag here or from the body element. So we are very sure that the mode that we are dealing with now is the light mode. Else, we do the opposite. We add the class. If it doesn't have that class and this button was clicked, we're going to add it. We're going to add that class. And now we're going to say, we're going to have the dark mode. And here I'm doing some mistake. I should have a key value pair. So I'm going to have the key because this is the key that we're going to get from the local storage and check which theme we are currently loading. So the key is theme mode. If you can remember when we were checking from when the application loads here, we checked this one. This is the key that we're going to have. So here I'm going to have the same key like that. So I'm going to save that. And that function will be called when this button is clicked. So here I'm going to call this function called toggle theme, dark light theme, like that. I'm going to save that. I'll go to my application here and I'll try to reload and try to test it. So we are currently in the light theme. is the dark mode button. I click it, it brings the other one, but doesn't change though. So I will try to check if I have a problem. Yes, and I do. I have a problem. So you can see has class. I mistyped that. That's my problem. And where did we check if it has a class? Here. So it should be has class. I go back. Yeah, and I'll test again. I'll reload the application, click on dark mode, and sure enough, it changes to dark mode. Now we have a dark mode. Let me try to reload the application. It should still be in light mode, in dark mode, sorry. I'll reload it again, still in dark mode. I'll change that to light mode, and then I'm going to reload it again, and we are still in light mode. I'll try to get my model still in light mode. I'll change that, then get the model now changing very nicely. So that's how you create your dark mode for your application. It was straightforward. Please, if you have any question, just ask in the comments below and I will address it as fast as possible. Thank you very much for joining me on this course. Of course, I will see you in the next course whereby we'll be checking on something else. Thank you very much. Have a nice day. Have a nice time. Bye.